he just goes about his business. He really does. It's our job to make sure as coaches that schematically we're putting our players in the best position possible. You guys have all seen, I mean, these defensive ends and pass rushers are not getting any slower and they're not getting any weaker. They're pretty good. And so that credit to them. But at the same point in time, we got to make sure that we're always working footwork drills in the pocket. A lot of times you can practice 3-step timing from the gun, 5-step timing, hitch throw, slide left, slide right. Not so sure it's always like that. So continuing to practice so that in the game, you feel the presence of maybe some edge pressure or maybe it's A-B gap pressure. And that's important. But Pat's been phenomenal. That's one of his greatest strengths is he doesn't worry about that stuff. He worries about the things he can control. It might have been a little more difficult for him as a young up-and-coming guy that wants to just throw 75 touchdowns every year and have a million explosives. And I get that, but he's really maturing and growing as a quarterback. We went through this, all of us here, these discussions and how we were last year. We talked about even at times with our defense, how they were and what was going on offense that you've heard him talk about, as crazy as it sounds, that sometimes in some possessions, some games, playing smart with the football. And if you punt the football for field position, that's okay. We don't want that, but what that is growth for him as a quarterback. And I think like now you look at if it's for us, if we have to check a few down here or there, his mentality is not changing. Don't get that part twisted. Like he's still trying to go downfield. If they're not going to give it to him, grow as a quarterback and don't throw 30 interceptions. And he's done a great job with that. You look at third downs, he extends plays with his legs. So if he has a good feel of getting it and he's going to use his legs, that's great. I think when you're a quarterback and there's so many elements that go into the play, sometimes you see it from afar where it's a guy is open and for a different reason the ball's not thrown, and it's sometimes on the quarterback to trust it, and sometimes it's not. You know, there's different things that happen within your view from down there on the field with different games that the line does, but trusting where to go with the football and really not trying to make it if they do a good job on defense, don't make a bad play worse, and balancing trying to do something, because what we've all seen from Pat is the really crazy plays that not many people can do. He does it. It's one of those deals where you say, no, yes. That's what he does a lot. But in the general basic foundation of the offense, just staying true to your feet, staying true to your progression, and trusting everybody, coaches and players. You feel good about it because he has a history of doing those things in his career in big time moments. That's the other thing is like, it's usually not when you're down 20 when he makes a play like that. It's usually a critical moment that he makes that play. That's who he is. And we want to feel good when we put in a play and do we like it? And then on top of that, when do we call that play? And if we all feel good as players and coaches, then whatever they do, we got to react. And in that case, they dropped 8 and played zone. Difficult for that play that we called, but it still worked. And so if you're a defensive coordinator and you see that, I'm sure there's some frustration. But that's Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes making a play in a big moment to win us a game. And for us as coaches, there's a balance and there's also a trust in them knowing that if that throw wasn't there to Travis, we feel good that Pat's going to make the right decision and not make a poor decision. And that's important.